colleagues from Furkating College and all the participants. It is indeed a matter of great pride for me to be with you all. So I got this opportunity to share my views on the topic of the seminar, and I was more than happy to be a part of this seminar and webinar that has been organized on a very sensitive topic, that is the demand of the time these days, managing your interpersonal relationships in the time of this pandemic. So it is indeed a difficult time for all of us, for the entire humanity. We have been witnessing a problem of the severe magnitude, and people are finding themselves in a state of disarray, anxiety, hopelessness, depression, a kind of dependence on uncertainty, lack of independence. All these factors have contributed to a sense of hopelessness with us. So I think this problem is not interpersonal relationships or your relationship with yourself, and all these things is not unilateral in nature. It is multidimensional in nature. That means the impact of this tragedy or the pandemic is varying. It has varied impacts upon different sections of the people. So it is a health pandemic, but it has economic dimensions, it has social dimensions, it has individual personality dimensions. So the nature of pandemic may be same, but its impact is varied. And it also depends upon your personality variables, your orientation towards life, and all such factors they are playing. So how is the health system in Assam? How is the health system in Delhi? How is the healthcare system? So all these factors are playing a contributory role in navigating your day-to-day life activities, in navigating your social activities, and all kinds of activities that we all are participating is being determined by the individual differences, social differences, and all the systemic differences that is existing at the level of society. So sometimes the stressful situation is so high among the people because they have had the lesser ability for resilience. They have had personal abilities and skills to have lack of self mastery upon themselves, their willingness, their hardiness. So one thing is very clear, that impact of this pandemic is universal, but it varies from individuals to individuals, and people to people, and societies to societies, and communities to communities. So the nature and impact is not same for all sets of people. So it varies on your personality dispositions, on your attributional style. How do you assess the situation? So sometimes adapting a maladaptive behavior, so it increases.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, sir. Sir, do you want to share your PPT?
No. I'll be speaking extempore on this topic. I'll not share any PPT. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So you pay attention with your mindfulness, and I hope I'll be doing the best of my effort, and you will have something at the end of the discussion if you want to have it. Yeah. So the adoption of maladaptive patterns, that will differentiate the impact, that the attributional style. So how do you attribute things in your life? That is also going to your locus of control or your external locus of control, the concept proposed by Rotter. So if you have a better internal locus of control, the impact of stress, the impact of the negativity will be lesser as compared to the people who are maladaptive in their behavior pattern, and they don't share their feelings with others. So there are feelings of fatalism intensities during pandemic situation like this, where risk factor increases or decreases depending upon your perspectives of life, depending upon your sense of coherence. It is a global orientation that provides an individual confidence to handle the crisis situation. So same type of crisis will have differential impacts upon different sets of people depending upon their sense of coherence, their attributional style, their personality dispositions, their social relationships. So interpersonal relationships. So how people support you in your family, how people support you on your day-to-day basis activity. So social support provides you an emotional support, and that becomes a cushion against dealing with the stress. So healthcare system, as I told you, this is also a part of our social network. So you have some confidence that okay, in case of some crisis, I'll have something which can safeguard my future. But if you think that my situation inside home and outside home is the similar, then obviously the intensity of fear, the intensity of anxiety, the intensity of fear of death will be much more as compared to the situations when systemic interventions and social factors of emotional support are better as compared to other situations. Similarly, we are connected, most of us, that we think that even in during this crisis times we are connected, but most of the time we are connected digitally. We are talking to our friends, we are sharing our painful emotions, but we don't acknowledge to this fact that most of our relationships are being guided by the digital territory, digital factors. And digital factors are, by its very nature, it is quantifiable in nature. It has more numbers. But at the same time, you may realize that this is not of great use for me in case of any difficulty. So your digital connections and authentic connections. So if you have 5 good friends in life, I think you are very fortunate. I think in today's time where people are changing colors on day-to-day basis, and it is very difficult to realize what this person is all about. It is very difficult to find 5 good friends. And if you have 5 good friends, I am sure your degree of illness will be reduced by a lot in all respects, because you must identify your emotions, painful emotions. If you don't acknowledge them, then you cannot feel a solution for it. So it can be worked out. What you put your feelings outside, you may heal inside as an emotional repression, prevents the healing system. So anger, anxiety, if you suppress it, if you repress it, then it will come into some different form. So it is better to acknowledge those emotions. What are the things that is worrying your family, your job, your the well-being of your children? So you must acknowledge them first. Then only so first you have a proper diagnosis of your life conditions. So what others are saying is not important. So you must see and give importance to your own understanding, on appreciation of the reality. And if you don't express it, then it is very difficult to deal with. So it is very important that we must identify our strengths, weaknesses, limitations, advantages, vulnerabilities, that as a person, maybe because of this lockdown, I may be thrown out of my job. Maybe my children may not get married. So each life, condition is different. What person X is in, Purkating College, and what person, why in Delhi University, what person Z is in Dibrugarh, they all have different life conditions. One cannot be replicated, in the mechanical fashion. So Rita Rani madam, suggested you certain things that may be useful for some. I may be suggesting that may not be extremely, unuseful for some. So it is not a, mechanical prescription that will apply, because it is not a, mechanical instrument like this, uh, uh, spectacles that you know the power and you derive a machine for it and it works perfectly fine. But human behavior, human conditions, social lives, interpersonal life, you have had your best friends in your life, now you get into a good job and they have envy, they are jealous that why he became successful and I could not. And now ultimately, he or she becomes very, envious of you. You don't realize you are still treating him or her as your best friend. So it's not a permanent concept. It is not a mechanical concept that, that friends forever are friends for, ever. It is not like that. It changes. There are problems, there are disruptions, there are breakups in relationships, in your day-to-day life relationships, in your family situations, in your partner's life, in your all kinds of. Now if somebody says that, okay, I was in good friendship with XYZ now, but he's jobless or she's jobless, what to do? So they stop talking to you, because so many, relational aspects are also guided by the material aspect. So sometimes, status aspects also become an important factor, that, okay, you tomorrow you qualify in your civil services exam, become an IAS officer, all your lost friends will, recover from your relationship with you, and they will start claiming that I knew you in your childhood age, I knew. So success has many friends and failures has very, very less. So you'll have to be mindful about it. There is no problem that whatever way you are, and it is a genesis of our orientation towards life. Sense of coherence can only be achieved once you have a realization that, okay, this is how my life had been, and they are the people who matters. So no matter the affection, the quality of relation that you get in your family, you cannot get anywhere else, at your workplace, at your, professional places, and whatever places that you may interact. It will be, you will be judged by your external criteria. So be honest for your, self-examination, and it comes, from your realization that, okay, this is what is important for me, this is what are my life conditions, these are the people who matter for me. You see the example of, example of Lord Krishna and Arjuna. So whatever, Lord Krishna says, Arjuna has all the wisdom to differentiate, but he has faith in Lord, and whatever he says, he will, okay, his viewpoint, okay, Lord, I also see the same thing. But the things are different, because if you have faith in your relationships, faith and trust are the key constituents of any good relationship. So you must understand the concept of suffering. Suffering is considered is a result of, inherent creation. So duality. So it is not that all your life you can be happy. It is not possible. All the, happiness and suffering goes side by side on the same spectrum. Sometimes in the day you are very happy, sometimes you are unhappy. So if you are never unhappy, you can never have that feeling of being happy, because you always, compare on this spectrum of opposites, that, okay, earlier I had no job, now I have a job. Earlier I had, I was not married, today I am married. Today I don't had any family, children, now I have children. So many things you will see that, according to Buddhist philosophy, the birth is attended by pain, aging is painful, disease is painful, and separation from our near and dears is also a painful process, and craving for, your things for, that you have been trying to achieve in your life, if it is unsatisfied, you again feel, unhappy or painful about it. So there are three categories of suffering. One is, self-generated suffering that is caused by factors within the individuals. You know, people who are lacking humors, कई बार मैं देखता हूं कई लोग they are very serious. What? No, I have to do my work very seriously, but I don't need to laugh. So if you lack this sense of humor, it is going to create, you know, self-generated suffering in you, which you are the master of it. So how do you approach your, you know, my participation in this webinar could be a optimistic, you know, venture, and could be a pessimistic, because this is a college which is not known to me. Who are the people? So I can have all set of negative orientation. At the same time, I can that I'll be meeting, you know, great people from Furkating College, people from Assam and all over the country. So it will be a, you know, good experience. So this is a completely, you know, individual creation of this moment, that this 1 hour I can make it, you know, useful, meaningful and mindful and positive, or I can, you know, consider it as a mechanical, that I have to, you know, read some points, some textbooks, and then, you know, what is the grading that people will be giving it to me. So it becomes a mechanical job. It is not. I am meeting all set of good people. They are all, you know, creative in their own way. So I feel fortunate that I have connected with you all this afternoon. Similarly, as I mentioned you, there are individual generated factors that you are the master of it. So you can, you know, make or mar your future by your orientation in life. Similarly, there are environment related factors. It is caused by other individuals. So you don't have much, you know, you choose a life of your, you know, profession of your choice, that I came into teaching. You all are in teaching. Somebody else is doing some other job. But who will be his boss? Who will be her boss? What will be the circumstantial factors? What will the contextual factors? You cannot decide. Who will be the vice chancellor of your university? You cannot decide. So there, what will be the quality of your students? Are they very obedient? Are they not? So all these things you cannot. So environmental factors you cannot control. And the supernatural factors like the Amphan, you know, typhoon that came in West Bengal, or Nisarg that it came in Maharashtra, it is not within our control. Though we think that scientists could only predict that it is going to come, but what will be the magnitude, what will be the level of destructions, they could never imagine, they could never predict, and they can never predict. This is where there is a contradiction of nature and nurture, that we are, you know, using it for our own advantage, but we are not masters of the nature. You should be mindful about it. You should be thankful about the Mother God, that it nurtures us and it allows us to live in a meaningful way, the way we want to live. So, you know, there are several factors, you know, that we cannot control, that is called supernatural factors. Similarly, in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, ego involvements, you know, attractions and repulsions are called afflictions. It is called, you know, in Sanskrit, it is called klesha. Klesha are viewed as primary sources of suffering. And these are, you know, ignorance, egoism, attraction, repulsion, and lust for life. So there are 5 factors that has been, you know, long time back explained in Patanjali's Yoga Factor, that all kinds of, you know, negativities and suffering are caused by 5 factors of, you know, ignorance, you know, egoism, attraction, repulsion, and lust for life. So you live life, but you should not have lust for life. That okay, all the properties that it is for your use, but you don't allow it to become have an obsession with your property. Then every day will be happy and unhappy both. So it is there, and this search for life in meaning has profound philosophical, you know, scientific, theological, metaphysical, you know, aspects for the mankind. I will request the members to switch off their, you know, microphones, so that they can, you know, be better audible to what I say. So the meaning of life as we perceive is derived from, you know, philosophical, spiritual contemplation of scientific inquiries about our existence. It is also determined by our culture. It is also determined by so many other factors. So how do we derive? In the same culture, you will see in different cultures, people's orientation towards life and uncertainty, to handle the uncertainties, it is a culture specific phenomena. In India, in Eastern perspective, we have high level of intolerance towards uncertainty because we are also a firm believer in the destiny. We are also a firm believer in gods. So we think that so many things we are doing and rest Ishwar ki kripa hai. So that kind of analogy, so confidence and deciding a balance are the forces that determine your happiness or balance in your life, and safeguarding features of perception to deal with such type of circumstances, because it's not that this magnitude of this pandemic has been very severe, but even earlier times we have had problems that we have been trying to handle with, and we have handled it successfully. Similarly, you will see that so many activities, your perceived sense of isolation, it is a very great risk factor. So this is the use of psychology, that I am doing it intentionally. Your perceived sense of isolation is more dangerous factor for your developing some kinds of stress or disease than the objective conditions of stress. So if you perceive that these are the people, these are the set of circumstances that is going to determine and overtake my life activities, it is very dangerous. But as compared to the actual stress factors, the perception of social isolation is a very dangerous phenomena that may affect your happiness and other things. So major depressive order is heavily influenced by environment and genetic factors. There is a field that is called sociogenomics, which examines why and how of our different social factors and processes. So social stress, conflict, isolation, this is dealt with the field that is called sociogenomics, when environmental factors and genetic factors both contribute to your depressive situations or your positive situations. So epidemiological research demonstrate that social factors, including social isolation, can have large effects on our well-being. Chronically isolated individuals are more likely to develop disease risk as compared to the people who are more related. So if you come to your department, if you come to your office, you have subordinates, you have superiors. If you say them good morning, they will all respond. But if you think you are boss of the organization, so you will say the good morning to only your chair, even they will remain silent. So if you are getting free of cost, so much of gratitude, so much of appreciation, so if you take that initiative, as I mentioned, you perceived social isolation and chronically isolated individuals, they do all kinds of yoga, they have all kinds of machines, they have all kinds of checking of their thermometers, barometers, they are checking all their BP. Well, all of a sudden they will find that their sense of well-being is not somehow well, but the people who are more socially connected, those who are have good interpersonal orientations towards their colleagues, towards their family members, towards the society at large, you have a tendency for giving to others. So pandemic, you think you are within the boundary of your homes, you have a job, you have a family, but what about the people who do not have anything to support their even one day meal? So think about them, and then you will see that okay, I am much more fortunate that I have all such things in my life, but still I was worried. So some researchers has also suggested immunosuppressive functions of social stress, but more consistent observations is that perception of social stress is stronger and more reliable prediction of objectives. So how do you perceive the risk situations around you is a very important factor that how your life could be. So if you have all many, huge list of friends in your list, but they all are superficially connected to you. You don't, connect with them. You don't share with them. You don't, examine your own viewpoint. You don't, discuss with them the reality. So they are always, projecting their superficial aspects. You are also, but real aspects are being untouched or undiscussed, which is very harmful thing. So encounters with the reality, that, for being present in this seminar, I am prepared, but maybe I am not prepared. Let it be a natural phenomena. What is harm? It is not that everybody will be Lord Buddha. We are all, learners as well as teachers. So it's not that everything I am supposed to know, nor you are supposed to. But we have so many types of anxiety, an anxiety to perform well in a group situation like this. Oh, 100 people are listening, how they will rate me? Forget about it. You just think your best. And I can assure you, if you have that confidence in you, you will definitely give your best. But if you are you are cynical that how people will like me, what, phonetics I should use, but the real content, there was a tradition where there was no, this digital mechanism available, but people used to give, share their views in oral traditions, and these oral traditions, I think we are dealing with very micro aspect of those great oral tradition that has been propounded by, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, Islam, Christianity. So these were all mostly a product of, oral traditions. So it is very important that I have certain limitations. I must admit it. Only then I can do a sincere justice to it. But if I don't have that, sense of appreciation towards others, then I will not have a sense of appreciation towards my real quality. So I will gloss it. I will ignore it. I will, make a defensive behavior. No, I know everything. It's not possible. So this is my perspective that I am trying to share with Furkating College, participants. And this can be, there can be several, viewpoints. So the reality lies in the plurality of meanings. It is not one person perspective. So what I understand from my perspective, I'm trying to share with you. I hope I am audible to you all. Am I audible to you all?
Yes.
I hope we are progressing together in the journey, or we are going apart.
No, sir, we are progressing.
Together, sir, together.
Are you physically apart and, emotionally apart? So are we together somewhere? We have some convergence points. Are we connecting somewhere or breaking?
No, sir, we are
No,
connecting.
sir.
Think so.
We are
Smoothly connecting or badly connecting? Let it be
smoothly
but,
connected.
okay. Dr. Apurva? Is it Dr. Apurva? No.
No, sir.
Okay. So we must try to understand that we have to connect with your social bonds, and you have to talk to the people that you trust, and they also trust upon you. Only then you can have, primary bonding of emotions. So if you connect on the superficial levels, then there was a great thinker called Jaspers. He talked about, primary delusions and secondary delusions. Primary delusions are based on, apparent causes. Ultimately, without apparent causes, that means it is not very easily discernible. And secondary delusions are based upon the real causes. So a good psychiatrist or a clinical psychologist should try to, care for the, and his central tenet that we should try to understand the mental status of a person by their form, not by their content. So what I say and what I should do, so what is the form that is more important as compared to the content. Now coming to the point of solitude and loneliness. Solitude is often valued, as a time to to introspect. So this social distanciation, social isolation, and all these things has created a kind of isolation for us. But the social isolation, if it is converted into social, individual solitude, then you get, time to introspect. You get time to realize who are the people who are good for me, whether my life journey has been, okay so far. Do I need to, reorient my life, what I have been doing? Was I dependent, on all external things, but I did not care for myself? So, so solitude and loneliness are two different things. And solitude is a kind of blessings. All our, great monks, so many of them are also found, Kamakhya region of Assam. So they, they spend that time, years in solitude, and they progress towards their spiritual, what you say, spiritual development. So it is not enforced, loneliness is a method of punishment, and solitude is a method of progress. So as I told you, that if you convert your loneliness to solitude, then it can become a positive experience. And if you convert your, social distanciation and being into home, then it will become a punishing moment, and it will be very difficult to get out of this emotional isolation, and it may lead to distance. Why do we have such type of seminars, webinars? What special thing of, utilizing my 1 hour and you all connected? Because you need to learn that this orientation in life can change your immune systems, your positivities, can do away with the doctors. So this illness and wellness is mostly a creation of your psychological orientation towards life. And asociality refers to the lack of motivation. If you are not social, you will not connect with the people, and the impact of stress has been different, because how do we manage, the people, and each person has his or her own viewpoint. You think that I am in the city, so I am leading a better life. But if you ask a villager, he will say that I am leading a better life than the city people who don't know their neighbors. So it is very, a different approach, that what interpretation, interpretational perspective that you derive in your life will determine most of your, problems and solutions that you find for yourself. The separation affect daily lives. It is depressing in nature. Now you are not connected with your friends. You cannot meet them. You want to meet them. So this is a difficult time. We must appreciate. But this, spirit of socialization can be maintained. Now we can, shift to digital mode. So all your friends, you try to, spend some time with your friends. Similarly, you can meet your teachers, you can meet your relatives. So this is the need of the hour. So if you try to change every dynamics, you cannot. But if you adapt with them, and if you adapt with a different perspective, you can still be emotionally connected with large number of people that you want to. All our routine activities and plans, were halted, that from today onwards there will be a lockdown in the country. We had no alternative, no plan B, what to do. But increasingly we have, developed these adaptations, and the times had been, sorry, I think there was less light, so is it okay? Yeah. So now the narrative of social discourse has changed. No, people are talking of quarantine centers. Every day you are looking what is, isolation centers. People are talking of funerals. People are talking of lockdown restrictions, spread of epidemic, So, trends has been, converted into, quarantine centers. Our schools, colleges, they have also become, converted. They are, so it is indeed a genuinely different situation what it used to be. Everyone realizes that anyone, even our relatives, they can be a corona carrier. So you are very mindful which relative is going to come, should I meet him or not. So all these, it's had created a separation, isolation, loneliness, boredom, and repetition becomes the shared meaning of life. Manipulation of masses at the hands of, conflicting views by the mass media. To today morning you read a newspaper, in the evening you see a news channel, you will get a conflicting viewpoint, and the liquidation of authentic meanings is taking place. The more you spend your time, and not to forget our WhatsApp messages, that it is very useful message coming from WHO, but WHO itself contradicts its position the subsequent day. So whom to trust, whom not to trust, and if you are more media friendly, and if you are receiving all the messages and reading them, I am sure you are adding up to your level of frustration, level of anxiety, without any doubt. You may think that I don't get affected much by this, but I am telling you that subconsciously, unconsciously, and consciously, all three planes, you will be affected by this, because it will lead to your destabilization of your stability, and the architecture of mass media is like this, that there is an intensive flooding of information. It makes impossible to us to come to a conclusive decision that what is what. So at all levels of contradictory messages, it is very difficult for us to come to a reasonable state of conclusion. So I think as I have been discussing, that interpersonal dimensions is not a unilateral concept that can be discussed and described from a singular perspective. It is a multi perspective, it is a multi meaning, which is being affected by a variety of factors, and meaning in life and satisfaction with your life can be achieved through coherence, purposes in one's existence, and attainment of goals. So four components of purpose, understanding, responsibility, and enjoyment. Purpose, responsibility, enjoyment, and understanding. It is called pure. So these play an important role. Purpose, and understanding, responsibility, and enjoyment. These are considered important regarding your life satisfaction, well-being, and meaning in life. The famous thinker Aristotle, Aristotle talked about that that goal is good, also known as virtuous. So you should have a goal. Okay, lockdown is happening, lockdown is being unlocked, but you have to be focused towards your work. And if the highest good is eudaimonia, involve happiness, well-being, flourishing, and excellence. So this was, discussed by Aristotle. Immanuel Kant, he talked about, his deontological theory, where there is a single moral obligation, the categorical imperative. Then Jeremy Bentham, he talked about the meaning of life as the greatest happiness principle. Similarly, Albert Camus, please listen to it carefully, argued that absurdity of the human condition is that people search for external values. हम लोग दूसरे की तरफ ज्यादा ध्यान देते हैं, and meaning in a world which has none and it is indifferent to. दूसरे के पास कुछ भी नहीं है, everything is with you. Forgetting, it is located in you. So you have to discover, you are dependent upon X, Y, Z. They will always judge you. It's a principle of absurdity that was, and Albert Camus, if you read his, novel Plague, it's a classic, and you will see that so many similar things were happening during the time of plague that has taken place in the past. And all his, there were quarantine centers. There was no progress of medical science that time also. And people were having, similar kind of reactions and all these things. And people in millions, they died also during that time. So pragmatics, William James, the meaning of life is discoverable only through experience. कोई interpersonal relationship आपके लिए कोई रेडीमेड खाना नहीं देने वाला. You have to discover with your own experience. Theists believe that God created this universe and God has a purpose in life, and doing so, according to Jean-Paul Sartre, who has written the book Being and Nothingness, the existence precedes essence. The essence of one's life arises only after one comes to existence. So according to existentialism, each man and woman creates the essence of their life, and life is not determined by supernatural forces or anything like that. Nietzsche, whom we call Nietzsche, life is worth living if there are goals inspiring one to live. So, Viktor Frankl, he argues for the de-reflection. I was talking about the reflection. Then you have another viewpoint, prescribed by Viktor Frankl, who talks of the de-reflections, which means endlessly reflecting on the self. Instead, engage in life. You do so many things, engage in life, de-reflect. People derive meanings in the life as the life events, resulting from their achievements, legacy, relations, others, family, etc. There is no evidence which life is good life and better life. Happiest of the people, you will see that they are unhappy, and poorest the people, you will see very happy. Our neighborhood country, Bhutan, is considered one of the happiest nation, and the so-called superpower nations, they are not considered like that. So each disputant can only claim. हम कहते हैं कि हम पढ़े लिखे हैं इसलिए हम बहुत ज्यादा अच्छे हैं, पर कोई आप गरीब से देखें, बात करें पुअर पर्सन से, they are less discriminatory than the so-called educated class. So we may be selfish in our understanding that this is. आप सोचते हैं कि हम रूरल से बेटर हैं, पर रूरल सोचते हैं कि वो आपसे बेटर है. So it is a perspective that you have certain values in your mind that you consider yourself as superior, but you have no right to prescribe somebody else as inferior. Postmodernists described anything resembling a meaning of life can only be understood within a social and linguistic framework, and must be pursued as an escape from the power structures that are already embedded in all forms of speech and interaction. So these things are also playing a role. So postmodernists think that you tried the power structure, who is what, that the urban people, the people living in cities, the technocrats, the capitalists, who decides this? People in power. So how do they decide? Because they have power, and this hierarchy of gender relations, all these things are determined by the inherent use of language. You are meant like this, you have to do like this, and you have to decode these meanings, you have to decipher, you have to understand the minuteness of these factors. Madam Coordinator, you have to highlight me the last 10 minutes. Am I entering into the last 10 minutes?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Last 10 minutes. I hope you can all bear with me for 10 minutes more. Okay. So.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Carry on.
Okay.
Okay, sir, carry on.
Okay. So we have to, think about the nature and nurture, nature and the environment. We all need to, create balances. If you create imbalanced attitude, the neurological basis of emotions is speech and cognition, understand the nature of thought. So we must try to also perceive the reality, because everything science has failed in today's time. If you go to a doctor and tell him or her that I have corona positive, they don't have anything, but they will send you back to your place. They will not meet you. So science has miserably failed. So where to go? Then if you fail in science, then obviously the natural choice is go to the religious perspectives. And Confucianist scholar Tu Ming according to Tu Ming, Confucianism is a philosophy. We can realize the ultimate meaning of life in ordinary human existence. So religious perspectives of Judaism, most important feature in the worship of a single is comprehensive, transcendent, one, indivisible, absolute being. So being in closeness with the God is the solution to many of our problems. According to Christianity, teachings of Jesus Christ presented in the New Testament speaks of God wanting to have relationship with humans both in this life and the life to come. तो आप देखेंगे कि जीसस क्राइस्ट ने बताया कि हम इस लाइफ में भी और अगले लाइफ में ह्यूमन बीइंग के साथ कनेक्टेड रह सकते हैं, which can happen only if one's sins are forgiven. जो हमारी कमियां हैं, if you overcome those things, we can have relationship in next life also. So salvation through faith in God is possible. Salvation through God, faith in God is possible. Similarly, you will talk of Islam. In Islam, humanity's ultimate purpose is the worship their creator Allah, God. The 5 pillars of Islam are duties incumbent to every Muslim. They are Shahada, profession of faith; Salat, ritual prayer; Jak, charity; Swam, fasting during Ramadan; and Hajj, pilgrimage to Makkah, derived from the Hadith works of Sahih al-Bukhari. So according to Islam, you need to have this kind of philosophy in life. According to Hinduism, there are 4 possible aims to human life, known as Purusartha, ordered from least to greatest. So we have calm, all kinds of desires that have this thing, mobile phone, TV, television, house, all these things, wish and desire, love and sensual pleasures. Today I have iPhone 11, tomorrow I have iPhone 12, tomorrow I have this thing. So XYZ car and all kinds of materialistic things that is determined by our tendency of calm. Then we have earth, glory and wealth, that we have all kinds of wealth in our life. Then we have dharma, duty, morality is virtue, encompassing notions of ahimsa and honesty, non-violence and honesty. And the final stage is of moksha or liberation, cycle of reincarnation. So you can understand the concept of this can be achieved from various means. There is no specific way that we can achieve this gradation from lowest to highest can be achieved through bhakti marg, gyan marg or karma marg. So if you do a good work, all through the time your actions reflect happiness, you can achieve this transcendental stages from calm to earth to dharma to moksha. So this is transcendental in nature. Even the poorest of the persons and richest of the person can achieve it. Even a person uneducated according to the dictionary of educated can achieve this. Even the highest of the educated can also achieve this. So it is not class specific, it is not gender specific, it is not profession specific. So anybody can achieve those levels. It is embedded in the self nature of that person, in his or her swabhav, his individual traits, and they can do it following their swadharma. It is not necessary that everybody should be a professor. No, even anybody, what type of work they are doing a great service to the humanity and to themselves and to the God. So Jainism also talks about when the living becomes attached to the non-living, does the suffering result. So if you are always attached to kind of things that is non-living, it results into suffering. Happiness is the result of self-conquest, freedom from external objects. So Jaina philosophy also prescribes strict adherence to non-violence and a form of non-violence that has also resulted into vegetarianism. and vegetarianism of a different nature, that they don't eat anything, non-vegetarian. So Buddhism, according to Buddhism, cause of suffering is unhealthy attachment to material and non-material objects. Nirvana and freedom from suffering is a multi-level process. Through attaining perfection and dispassion. If you are, if you have passion, you cannot achieve nirvana or freedom from suffering. There are, noble truths, 4 noble truths and Ashtanga mark that has been prescribed, and it is not the right, forum that we can discuss it at length. But these are the means that you can, according to Sikhism, which is known, their holy scripture is known as Guru Granth Sahib. Guru Nanak described God as not only unknowable and stressed that God must be seen from inward eye or the heart of a human being. Progress towards enlightenment is possible, through loss of ego and love of the Lord. Taoism, Taoism is also a philosophy that symbolizes the unity of opposites between yin and yang. And introspection can help us to find our, innermost regions for living. The simple answer is here within ourselves. So Taoism focuses a lot, on your inner awakening, that all your problems dependent, upon your own introspection and discovering your own simple selves. Shinto is a native religion of Japan, which means the path of Kami, but more specifically the divine crossroad, where Kami chooses his way. Foundation of free will, choosing one's way, means that life is a creative process. Shinto wants human life to be prolonged forever on earth. So these are the things that we can, know from a mythological perspective, that meaning of life, meaning of interpersonal relations, meaning of individual life. So it has been described from various, point of view from mythological perspective as well. Now coming to the positive psychology perspective, engagement in activities. Whatever you do with, full sense of engagement, utilizing your personal strengths and devoting oneself in larger than life image. So whatever you do, if you do with a state of flow experiences, positive attributions of meanings, and, great meaning has been associated with a reduced risk of Alzheimer's disease. There are studies by positive psychologist theories that if you have a positive orientation towards life, and if you have if you have a negative orientation, then you may have problems like coronary heart disease, stroke problems, and all your longevity. So how well you live in your life is also determined by 4 factors of, hope, optimism, resilience, and hope, optimism, resilience, and efficacy. This is called hero model. Hope, efficacy, resilience, and optimism. So if you have this link with the connectivity, with the community, your happiness level will be high. If you have a connectivity with the family, your happiness will be high. So if you have a tendency for mindful, whatever you do. So for me, this 1 hour is an opportunity. For somebody, oh, madam ने बोला है इस webinar को सुनना है, घड़ी देख रहे होंगे कब 1 घंटा हो रहा. So I am going to conclude it within 5 minutes. So don't be worried about that aspect. But what I am telling you, if you think that, okay, this 60 minutes I learned something and then I'll use it for my advantage in my life, then, you can be. So religious belief can be a transcendental, factor. The social aspects, solution which believes that existence in reality is beyond the absurd, and all the things that if you incorporate in your mind, what is the takeaway? That 55 minutes I have been speaking non-stop most of the time. So what is the takeaway? That it varies from individual to individual, it varies from context to context, it varies from your orientations in life. and whatever, strength, that if you think that you have all your family members, they are like God, then you can derive that happiness. No need to, search the God beyond your, limited limits. So whatever way gives you happiness, you can derive that happiness, and this, leap of faith can do wonders in your life. So what if you have faith, then you can achieve wonders in life. And one should try to convert, emotional isolation to emotional freedom. And it is not a theory, it is not a mechanics. I give this lecture to you, so right from the big, after listening to this lecture, you try to introspecting, re-examining your ways. You write your things. Penn Barker is, I think, his name. He has suggested that instead of, going to a doctor, you write your daily experiences. Then you realize where I am going wrong. What are the forces that is, giving me most of, misery in my life. And then you can obviously improve a lot by having a sincere introspection. So social skills can be learned. This is the great news of the day. Breaking news is coming for you all, that whatever life you have, learned so far, it is not irreversible. You can change right from this moment. You can change your orientation. That, okay, now I'll speak positive, I'll share positive, I'll not, engage with the people who are always, questioning me, who are always demoralizing me, we are always not, seeing anything. So metacognitive theory approach used as a method to improve interpersonal relations in the psychological parlance. And our attitude, theories of personality, it also claim important role. Similarly, as I mentioned you, this hope model, hope, optimism, resilience, this all can be improved a lot. I have seen, people who are introverts, they have become extroverts. I have seen people, extroverts, but they had some, life-turning events, and they, are disconnected. So it is a dynamic process. Interpersonal relationship is not a fixed notion. Okay, that I was like this. I have seen that people have been, discriminated in the class. They are demotivated, and they get this, spark that I have to get over with this. I have to overcome. They derive this energy on their own and become successful in life. So there we should have, greater degree of acceptance. Only then we can, improve. And in Eastern perspective, as I told you, the society and culture, particularly Assam, has been a great place for all kinds of, mythological practices and other things. So Bharat Muni, and all kinds of, thinkers, they have this. You take the example of fasting. Tomorrow, we are beginning with the auspicious month of Sawan, So all kinds of people will be doing the fasting. So in normal circumstances, if I say that you will not get a food, then you will become anxious. But tomorrow I am also going to fast. It is going to be a pleasurable experience for me. I enjoy this fasting, So if you say that this is say your children, tomorrow you will not be given food, he or she will be depressed. And people fast for complete 1 month, during the Ramadan. And how much energy do they derive? You ask them. They will tell that I feel extremely satisfied, So in the context of rituals and social sanctions acquired through process of socialization. So when rituals are, socialized in a positive way, it becomes very useful. And people, alien to ritual of fasting also develop meaning in it, for religious or health reasons, whatever reasons they derive. But gradually adopting the ritual, one gains control over hunger or food deprivation. So by engaging in one or more rituals of this kind, one gains a sense of control and mastery over oneself. So fasting can be a punishing method for some and can be a pleasant experience. And you can see both type of examples in your day-to-day life. So those people who do the fasting at regular level, if you see, they will describe, these are the best days that I enjoy the most. Similarly, you will have, mastery of your every kind of, activities that is done at a collective level. So nowadays you cannot go to temples or mosque or any religious places, but you can do all kinds of activity that gives you satisfaction and faith in life, that will definitely overcome your misery and will allow you to live a positive interpersonal life, having various qualities in right quantities. It is very difficult. So if you are doing one thing and you are ignoring your family, I am just busy in seminars and webinars, and I don't know what is my life situation, what is my family situation, what my friends are doing. So every time connected to your social network of WhatsApp and Instagram, that will not bring you much of satisfaction in life. So ati sarvatra varjayet. So an excess of everything should be avoided, and extreme should be avoided. And sarve sarva vadrani pasyantu makshita sukha bhagavat. So let everyone be prosperous, let everyone be without disease, let be no one think of unhappiness of anyone. So this is what I had to say. And now if you have some questions, I will try to relate and respond to the best of my ability. Thank you for cutting. Thank you, Dr. Rita Rani Talukdar, and all the participants, because participants, meaningful participation, and if they derive something positive out of it, I think that is the ultimate objective of, organizing such kind of webinars or seminars, whatever we do. And I'm sure that, you can derive a lot of positivity and benefit from such type of activity in future also. I enjoyed being with you all today afternoon. Thank you, people of Assam. There are so many students of mine from Assam. I like them most, and I have a special weakness for this place. So, spiritually elevated place. The people of Assam and all the participants from all over the country or maybe some abroad, I thank you all for being with me. Thank you.
Sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah,
Already,
you asked me
I have
to.
learned. Yes, sir. I have learned many suggestions from you. Self-generated suffering and supernatural factors of suffering, environmental factor of suffering. In
Yeah.
respect of environmental factor suffering,
Yeah.
yeah, sir.
Yeah.
During pandemic, there are there are more number of problems have been started in our state. Among
Can you repeat? Yeah, during the time of pandemic.
yes, very important important problems which can be which I can mention you. Poor economy, unemployment, and stop in academic.
Nasiruddin,
Yes,
if
sir.
you are mindful, what I have spoken, I have told you in the very beginning that
Yes.
it is not having equal impact, or it has varying impacts on all kinds of people, because as I told you, it is not a health misery, it is also economic misery. So you are restating or amplifying what I have stated in my discussion. Yeah, I hope you have a recording for this, madam.
Yes, sir.
Organizers.
Just
Yeah.
going to a matter, actual matter. One.
Yeah, Nasruddin ji. Yeah.
Yes, sir. A student of class 10, sir. A student of
Yeah.
class 10. He just 1 month ago he suicide. He suicide for the pressure of his teacher. Yes. Yes, for by using of just a weblink just classroom. Yes, sir. Classroom. The students no mobile phone, smart mobile phone, so he cannot connected the classroom internet connection with the other teacher.
Yeah.
Yes,
Nasruddin, you can
Yes.
connect with me individually also. You can take my number and email ID from the I'll respond to. But what I actually you are restating and amplifying what I've stated, that it depends upon the personality disposition.
Yes, sir.
So this crisis will have different dimensions. Those who are not digitally connected, those who come from poor family background, those whose parents lose their job, informal workers. I don't know if you know it or not. There are 40 crore people in India who don't have any formal work. Understand?
Yes, sir.
So this set of people are going to be worst hit.
Yes.
But we have to bear with this problem, and we have to come out with this crisis with the positivity. And this is where the role of a teacher and the role of the society becomes very important. So it's not that only one factor can become a reason for somebody's suicide. That I never agree. But I think this may have been a trigger point that but personality factors and all contextual aspects will have to looked into. And this problem has it is not full blown out as of now. So
Yes.
it will have more such dimensions in times to come. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Good
sir.
morning. Good morning, sir.
Good
Oh,
morning.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, it's okay.
Sir, I'm a student of Central University from Central University of Kashmir. I'm the student from the state of Kashmir, sir.
Okay.
My question, I don't know whether it is relevant to this topic or not, but
No, ask it. Don't think about relevant irrelevance. You ask
thank,
me. Yeah.
thank you, sir. Sir, as you know that the Kashmir has been in lockdown from the last 1 year. From the
Yeah.
last, it was about August 5th of 2019 when the Kashmir was put under lockdown, sir.
Yeah.
So, the stress here, you could take it how much the stress, how much stressful we people here are, sir. I'm not
Yeah.
talking about political issue, let it be, but
I understand.
somehow it is related to the students' life, as we are the students, and from last 1 year we have not even be able to be physically present in the classroom, to have to understand the lectures which has been delivered by our teachers. That is, we were not
Okay.
able to be physically present here. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, all the studies, the course when we had joined it, presently we are doing
So,
AMED.
so focus your question in brief, please. Yeah, I can get your point. Should I respond? Hello? Should I respond? Hello? 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 Should I respond? Hello? Am I audible to you? Hello?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
So you are describing the problem in Kashmir is definitely and certainly a very serious problem. And this
Right.
lockdown for 3-4 months in rest of the country, people have also realized that what is the impact of lockdown.
Right,
So
sir.
it needs
What my
it needs a greater degree of empathy and sensitivity to realize that how the people in Kashmir would have been
so
experiencing. So I interact with a lot of students from Kashmir, and I keep contacting people. So what I see that they are also experiencing a very different type of trauma right from the childhood stages,
yes,
because the children here are born with talk.
Sir, Apurva sir.
Am I audible?
Yeah, audible.
I think the participant has lost his connection, the questioner. So I think we should sum up.
Okay. Now I want to request Indian SNRP to go give the vote of thanks. Indian SNRP.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you, sir. So, good afternoon, everyone. So, here we have come to the conclusion of today's webinar
Pardon,
on managing
your video, this is just you take your mobile or the device straight away.
Okay, sir.
Yes, like that.
Okay, sir, not down.
Yeah. Now you can. Yeah.
Okay, sir, thank you. So, now we have come to the conclusions of today's webinars on managing interpersonal relationship during COVID-19 pandemic, so which is jointly organized by the Department of Education and Study Circle, Parkating College, associations with library and science associations, Assam. So I take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks to those who have contributed to these webinars. At the outset, I thank our resource persons, Dr. Rita Rani Talukdar Ma'am, Associate Professor and former head of the Department of Psychology, Guwahati University. And also here we have among with us resource person, Dr. Naveen Kumar Sir, Associate Department of Psychology, Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar College, University of Delhi. Thank you, Dr. Rita Ma'am and Dr. Naveen sir, for your esteemed presence among with us and for sharing your valuable information and bringing these sensitive lectures, especially during this pandemic crisis. We are also thankful to our principal sir, Dr. Apurva Satya sir, for his enthusiastic support. We also thanks to the technical team, Satyajit Bora sir, Hiragiti Hazarika sir, Adijit Borpujari sirs, and Parsanam Ghosh ma'am, and also to the managing committee, and most importantly to the participants giving your valuable times and active participation. We pay our heartfelt gratitude to everyone related to this event. With these kind words, we now move to the end of today's webinar. Thank you.
So, Dr. Datta.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you all. Yeah. Namaskar. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Datta, once again. Yeah.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
Nice talking to you. Yeah.